Something big has happened to you lately. You might not even realize it, but you've changed in a huge way. It's like you woke up one day and the world looked different. Colors seem brighter, people's words carry new meaning, and you can't shake this feeling that there's more to life than what meets the eye. This isn't just a random mood swing or a fleeting moment of inspiration. No, this is a powerful shift that has been brewing inside you for a long time. And now it's finally bubbling to the surface, ready to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. But here's the kicker. It's not just you that's changing. Your spirit guides, those unseen helpers who've been with you all along, are practically bursting with excitement. They're sending you more messages than ever before. It's like they've been waiting for this moment, and now that it's here, they can't wait to share all their wisdom with you. These aren't just little hints or subtle nudges anymore. We're talking about huge downloads of information, insights that can revolutionize the way you see yourself and the world around you. Now, you might be thinking, so what? What's the big deal about some spiritual shift? Well, let me tell you, this isn't just any ordinary change. This is a pivotal moment in your journey, a crossroads where you get to decide which path you'll take. And the stakes, they're higher than you might think. If you choose to ignore this shift, if you brush off these new feelings and insights as just another passing phase, you risk missing out on some seriously important spiritual growth. It's like being handed a treasure map and deciding to use it as a placemat instead. You might go on living your life as you always have, but there will always be this nagging feeling that you've missed out on something big. But here's the flip side. If you lean into this shift, if you open yourself up to the changes happening within you and the guidance coming your way, you're in for an amazing ride. We're talking about unlocking parts of yourself you never knew existed. You'll start to see the world in a whole new light, understanding things on a deeper level than ever before. Your relationships might improve as you become more in tune with yourself and others. You might find yourself drawn to new pursuits, or finally finding the courage to chase those dreams you've been putting off. And those downloads from your guides, they're like having a direct line to some of the wisest teachers you could ever hope for. They can help you navigate life's challenges with more grace and understanding. They can show you shortcuts to personal growth that might have taken years to discover on your own. In short, embracing this shift can fast-track your spiritual evolution in ways you can't even imagine right now. So, what exactly is this shift we're talking about? Well, it's not like flipping a light switch where suddenly everything is different. It's more like the changing of seasons. You don't notice it day by day, but one morning you wake up and realize the leaves have changed color, and there's a crispness in the air that wasn't there before. This spiritual shift is a lot like that. It's a gradual awakening, a slow but steady expansion of your consciousness. It's like your soul has decided it's time to level up, and it's bringing your mind and body along for the ride. You might find yourself questioning things you used to take for granted. The way you see the world, your place in it, even your understanding of what it means to be you. All of these things are starting to shift. One of the biggest changes you might notice is a growing sense of connection, not just to the people around you, but to everything. You might look at a tree and suddenly feel a kinship with it, understanding on a deep level that you're both part of the same grand tapestry of life. Or you might find yourself feeling others' emotions more intensely, as if the boundaries between you and them are becoming more fluid. Another big shift happens in how you perceive time. The past and future might start to feel less important as you find yourself more and more rooted in the present moment. You might catch yourself getting lost in the simple act of breathing, or find a profound joy in mundane tasks like washing dishes or taking a walk. Your priorities might start to shift too. Things that used to seem so important, like getting that promotion or buying the latest gadget, might start to lose their appeal. Instead, you might find yourself drawn to pursuits that nourish your soul. Maybe you'll feel called to spend more time in nature, or to explore meditation or other spiritual practices. And let's not forget about your intuition. If it feels like your gut feelings have suddenly gotten an upgrade, you're not imagining things. This shift often comes with a heightened sense of intuition. You might start knowing things without knowing how you know them. It's like you've tapped into a source of wisdom that goes beyond your everyday thoughts. Now, it's important to understand that this shift doesn't mean you've suddenly got it all figured out. You're not going to turn into some all-knowing guru overnight. In fact, one of the hallmarks of this shift is often a growing sense of humility. The more you awaken, the more you realize how much there is to learn. This shift also doesn't mean your life will suddenly become perfect or problem-free. You'll still face challenges and difficulties. The difference is in how you approach them. You might find yourself responding to problems with more calm and clarity. Instead of getting caught up in drama, you might be able to step back and see the bigger picture. One of the most profound aspects of this shift is how it affects your sense of self. You might start to realize that you're not just your thoughts or your emotions. There's a part of you that's watching all of this unfold, a consciousness that's bigger than your everyday worries and concerns. Some people describe this as getting in touch with their higher self or their soul. As this shift unfolds, you might also notice changes in your energy levels. Some days you might feel supercharged, like you could conquer the world. Other days, you might feel wiped out, needing more rest than usual. This is all part of the process. Your energy body is adjusting to these new vibrations, and sometimes it needs a break to integrate all the changes. Your relationships might go through some changes too. As you shift, you might find that some friendships naturally fall away while others deepen. You might be drawn to new people who are on a similar path. Don't be surprised if you suddenly click with someone you've known for years but never really connected with before. One thing that often comes with this shift is a greater sense of purpose. You might start to feel like you're here for a reason, that you have something important to contribute to the world. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly know exactly what you're supposed to do with your life, but you might feel a growing urge to make a difference, to leave the world a little better than you found it. Now let's talk about those downloads from your guides. As you go through this shift, it's like you're tuning into a new frequency. And on this frequency, your spirit guides can communicate with you more clearly than ever before. But what exactly are spirit guides, and what do these downloads look like? Think of spirit guides as your personal team of celestial cheerleaders and advisors. They're beings of light and wisdom who have volunteered to help you on your earthly journey. Some people believe these guides are ancestors or loved ones who have passed on. Others see them as angelic beings or ascended masters. The truth is, their exact nature isn't as important as the role they play in your life. Your spirit guides have been with you since the day you were born, maybe even before that. They know you inside and out, your strengths, your weaknesses, your deepest desires, and your biggest fears. And they're not judging you for any of it. Their only goal is to help you grow, learn, and fulfill your soul's purpose in this lifetime. Now, these guides aren't here to control your life or make decisions for you. Free will is a big deal in the spiritual realm, and your guides respect that. They're more like signposts, pointing you in helpful directions, but always leaving the choice up to you. They can offer guidance, support, and sometimes even protection, but they won't interfere with your right to make your own choices, even if those choices lead to challenging lessons. So, what's changed? Why are you suddenly getting huge downloads from these guides? Well, remember that shift we talked about? It's like it's cleared the static on the line between you and your guides. The connection has always been there, but now it's coming through loud and clear. These downloads can come in many forms. Sometimes it might feel like sudden bursts of inspiration or creativity. You might get an idea for a project that seems to come out of nowhere, but feels deeply right. Or you might find solutions to problems popping into your head fully formed, as if someone just whispered the answer in your ear. Other times, these downloads might come as strong gut feelings or intuitions. You might feel inexplicably drawn to a certain place, person, or activity. Or you might get a sudden urge to reach out to someone only to find out later that they really needed to hear from you right then. Dreams can be another channel for these downloads. You might start having vivid, meaningful dreams that stick with you long after you wake up. These dreams might contain symbols or messages that offer guidance for your waking life. Don't be surprised if you start remembering your dreams more often, or if they seem more vivid and meaningful than before. Sometimes, these downloads can come through your physical senses. You might see flashes of light or meaningful symbols. Some people report hearing voices or music that others can't hear. You might even experience unexplained scents, like a whiff of flowers in a room with no flowers, or feel physical sensations like a gentle touch on your shoulder when no one is there. One common way these downloads come through is via synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. You might think of a song and then hear it playing the next time you turn on the radio. Or you might keep seeing the same number sequence everywhere you look. These synchronicities are often your guide's way of letting you know you're on the right track, or that you should pay attention to something. Now, it's important to understand that these downloads aren't always earth-shattering revelations. Sometimes they're subtle nudges or gentle reminders. Your guides might use them to encourage you when you're feeling down, to warn you when you're about to make a mistake, or simply to remind you that you're loved and supported. And here's something crucial to remember. These downloads are meant for you specifically. They're tailored to your unique journey, your personal growth, and your individual needs. What comes through for you might not make sense to anyone else, and that's okay. This is a personal conversation between you and your guides. As you become more attuned to these downloads, you might start to recognize patterns or develop a sort of personal language with your guides. Maybe you always get a tingle in your left ear when they're trying to get your attention. Or perhaps certain animals or objects show up repeatedly when they have a message for you. The key is to pay attention and trust your intuition. Now you might be wondering, why now? Why are these downloads coming through so strongly at this particular time? Well, it all ties back to that powerful shift we talked about earlier. As you evolve spiritually, as your consciousness expands, you become more receptive to higher frequencies of information. Think of it like upgrading your old flip phone to the latest smartphone. Suddenly, you have access to all these apps and features you couldn't use before. Your spiritual shift is like that upgrade. It's allowing you to receive and process information from your guides in ways you couldn't before. But here's the thing. Just like with a new smartphone, there might be a bit of a learning curve. You might not always understand the downloads right away. Sometimes the messages might seem cryptic or confusing. That's okay. Part of this journey is learning to interpret and work with this new influx of information. It's also worth noting that these downloads might sometimes challenge you. Your guides aren't here to just tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes they might push you out of your comfort zone or encourage you to face difficult truths. Remember, their goal is your highest good and your spiritual growth. Sometimes that growth involves facing challenges or making changes that might feel uncomfortable at first. As you navigate this new terrain of enhanced communication with your guides, it's important to stay grounded. With all this high-frequency energy and information coming in, it can be easy to get a bit unbalanced. Make sure you're taking care of your physical body, eating well, getting enough rest, and staying hydrated. Spending time in nature can also help you stay centered as you process these new experiences. It's also crucial to approach these downloads with a balance of openness and discernment. While it's great to be receptive to guidance, you should also trust your own inner wisdom. If something doesn't feel right or goes against your core values, it's okay to question it. Your guides respect your free will, and they expect you to use your own judgment. Remember, this increased communication with your guides isn't about becoming dependent on their guidance. It's about working in partnership with them to navigate your life's journey. The ultimate goal is for you to become more empowered, more in tune with your own inner wisdom, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. As you continue to work with these downloads, you might find that your ability to receive and interpret them gets stronger. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Don't be surprised if you start picking up on subtler and subtler forms of guidance. You might also notice that these downloads start influencing your life in practical ways. Maybe you'll get a sudden urge to take a different route to work, only to avoid a major traffic jam. Or you might feel compelled to strike up a conversation with a stranger, leading to an important new connection or opportunity. One beautiful aspect of this enhanced connection with your guides is the sense of support and love that comes with it. Even in your darkest moments, you can take comfort in knowing that you're not alone. Your guides are always there, cheering you on, offering comfort when you need it, and celebrating your victories with you. As you embrace this powerful shift and open yourself to these downloads from your guides, you're stepping into a new phase of your spiritual journey. You're becoming more of who you truly are, more aligned with your soul's purpose, more connected to the universe around you. It's an exciting time, full of potential and possibility. Remember, this journey is uniquely yours. There's no one right way to experience this shift or to interpret the guidance you're receiving. Trust your own process. Be patient with yourself as you learn and grow, and above all, enjoy the adventure. You're embarking on a fascinating journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. Embrace it with an open heart and an open mind, and watch in amazement as your world transforms around you. As this powerful spiritual shift unfolds in your life, you might start noticing some telltale signs. These signs are like little whispers from the universe, nudging you to pay attention to the changes happening within and around you. Let's explore some of these signs together so you can better understand what's happening in your spiritual journey. First up, you might find yourself experiencing a heightened sense of awareness. It's like someone turned up the volume on your senses. Colors might seem more vivid, almost as if you're seeing them for the first time. You might notice intricate details in nature that you've never paid attention to before. The delicate veins on a leaf, the complex patterns in a flower petal, or the way sunlight dances on water. This heightened awareness isn't just about visual things, though. You might find yourself more attuned to sounds, picking up on subtle noises you've never noticed before. Even your sense of touch might feel more sensitive. Along with this increased awareness, you might start feeling a deeper connection to everything around you. It's like you can sense the invisible threads that connect all living things. You might find yourself feeling compassion for a stranger on the street, or feeling a kinship with a tree in your backyard. This sense of connection can be profound and sometimes overwhelming. You might find yourself moved to tears by acts of kindness you witness, or feeling a deep sense of peace when you're in nature. Another sign of this shift is a change in your energy levels. You might experience periods of intense energy where you feel like you could conquer the world. During these times, you might find yourself bursting with creativity, tackling projects with enthusiasm, or feeling an urge to make positive changes in your life. But be prepared for the flip side, too. You might also have days where you feel unusually tired. This fatigue isn't like normal tiredness. It's more like your body and spirit need time to recharge and integrate all the changes happening within you. Don't worry if you find yourself needing more sleep or quiet time than usual. It's all part of the process. Your relationship with time might start to shift too. You might find yourself getting lost in the present moment more often. Maybe you catch yourself staring at a sunset, completely losing track of time. Or perhaps you notice that time seems to speed up or slow down in ways you can't quite explain. This changing perception of time is often a sign that you're becoming more attuned to the eternal now, the present moment where all of life truly happens. Another interesting sign of this shift is a change in your interests and priorities. Things that used to be super important to you might start to feel less significant. That promotion you were chasing at work, it might not seem as crucial anymore. Instead, you might find yourself drawn to new interests, especially ones that nourish your soul. You might suddenly feel called to start meditating, or to learn about crystal healing, or to spend more time creating art. Don't be surprised if you find yourself naturally gravitating towards healthier habits too, like eating more whole foods or spending more time in nature. Your dreams might start changing too. Many people going through this shift report having more vivid, meaningful dreams. You might start remembering your dreams more clearly, or having dreams that feel significant or prophetic. Some people even experience lucid dreams, where they're aware they're dreaming and can control what happens in the dream. These changes in your dream life are often a sign that your subconscious mind is becoming more accessible to you. You might also start noticing more synchronicities in your life. These are those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. Maybe you keep seeing the same number sequence everywhere you look. Or perhaps you think of an old friend and then bump into them the next day. These synchronicities are often seen as signs that you're in alignment with your path, that you're in the flow of life. Another common sign of this shift is an increase in your intuitive abilities. You might start having gut feelings that turn out to be spot on, or you might find yourself knowing things without knowing how you know them. This heightened intuition can show up in various ways. Maybe you suddenly know who's calling before you check your phone, or you have a strong feeling about which path to take in a difficult decision. Physical sensations can also be signs of this shift. Some people report feeling tingles or warmth in their body, especially around the crown of their head or in their hands. Others might experience a buzzing sensation, almost like electricity running through their body. These sensations are often interpreted as signs of energy moving through your body in new ways. You might also notice changes in how you react to situations. Things that used to stress you out might not bother you as much anymore. You might find yourself responding to challenges with more calm and clarity. This doesn't mean you'll never get upset or stressed, but you might notice that you're able to bounce back more quickly or see the bigger picture more easily. Your relationships might start shifting too. As you change, you might find that some relationships naturally fall away while others deepen. You might feel drawn to spend time with people who are on a similar spiritual path. Don't be surprised if you suddenly click with someone you've known for years but never really connected with before. Another sign of this shift is a growing sense of purpose. You might start feeling like you're here for a reason, that you have something important to contribute to the world. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly know exactly what you're supposed to do with your life. But you might feel a growing urge to make a difference, to leave the world a little better than you found it. You might also start experiencing moments of profound peace or joy that seem to come out of nowhere. These moments might be brief, but they can be incredibly powerful. It's like getting a glimpse of a deeper reality, a taste of the interconnectedness of all things. Some people going through this shift report experiencing physical healing. Chronic conditions might start to improve, or you might find yourself naturally drawn to healthier lifestyle choices. This doesn't mean you should ignore medical advice, but you might notice your body feeling different or responding differently to things. Another interesting sign is a change in how you perceive reality. You might start questioning things you've always taken for granted. The nature of time, space, consciousness. These big questions might start to fascinate you in new ways. You might find yourself drawn to quantum physics or ancient spiritual teachings as you seek to understand the true nature of reality. You might also notice an increased sensitivity to energy. You might be able to sense the mood in a room as soon as you walk in, or you might find yourself feeling drained after spending time in crowded places. This sensitivity can be both a gift and a challenge as you learn to navigate it. Lastly, you might experience a growing sense of trust in the universe. Even when things aren't going as planned, you might find yourself trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. This doesn't mean you become passive, but rather that you develop a deep sense of faith in the journey of life. Remember, everyone experiences this shift differently. You might resonate with some of these signs and not others, or you might experience signs that aren't listed here. The key is to stay open, pay attention to what you're experiencing, and trust your own journey. Now that we've explored the signs of this powerful shift, let's dive deeper into understanding your spirit guides. These unseen helpers have been with you all along, but with this new shift, your connection to them is stronger than ever. So who or what exactly are these spirit guides, and how do they fit into your spiritual journey? First things first, spirit guides are exactly what they sound like. They're spiritual beings whose purpose is to guide and support you throughout your life. Think of them as your personal team of cosmic coaches and cheerleaders. They're here to help you navigate the ups and downs of life, to nudge you towards your highest good, and to support your spiritual growth and evolution. Now, it's important to understand that spirit guides come in many forms. Some people perceive their guides as angelic beings, while others might see them as ascended masters, think Buddha, Jesus, or other great spiritual teachers. Some folks believe their guides are loved ones who have passed on, or even beings from other dimensions or galaxies. The truth is, the exact nature or form of your guides isn't as important as the guidance and support they provide. Your spirit guides have been with you since the moment you were born. In fact, many believe they were with you even before that, helping you plan out the general outline of this lifetime. They know you inside and out. They understand your soul's purpose, your strengths and weaknesses, your deepest fears, and your highest aspirations. And here's the beautiful thing: they love you unconditionally. There's no judgment from your guides, only unwavering support and guidance. But let's be clear about something. Your spirit guides aren't here to control your life or make decisions for you. Free will is a big deal in the spiritual realm, and your guides fully respect your right to make your own choices. Their role is more like that of a wise friend or mentor. They can offer advice, point out opportunities, and sometimes even provide warnings, but the final decision is always yours to make. So how do these spirit guides communicate with you? Well, that's where things get really interesting, especially now that you're going through this powerful shift. As your consciousness expands and your vibration rises, you become more attuned to the subtle ways your guides communicate. One common way guides reach out is through your intuition. You know those gut feelings you get sometimes? That little voice inside that tells you to turn left instead of right, or to call a friend out of the blue? Often, that's your guides nudging you in a certain direction. As you go through this shift, you might notice these intuitive hits becoming stronger and more frequent. Dreams are another favorite communication channel for spirit guides. You might start having vivid, meaningful dreams that stick with you long after you wake up. These dreams might contain symbols or messages that offer guidance for your waking life. Some people even report meeting their guides face to face in their dreams. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random, are often orchestrated by your guides. Maybe you keep seeing the same number sequence everywhere you look, or perhaps you randomly come across a book that has exactly the information you need right now. These synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, often arranged by your guides to get your attention or confirm you're on the right path. Your guides might also communicate through your physical senses. Some people report seeing flashes of light or sparkles in their peripheral vision. Others might hear ringing in their ears or even actual voices or music that others can't hear. You might experience unexplained scents, like a whiff of flowers in a room with no flowers, or feel physical sensations like a gentle touch on your shoulder when no one is there. As your connection with your guide strengthens, you might start receiving what feels like direct downloads of information. These can come as sudden bursts of inspiration or understanding. You might get an idea for a project that seems to come out of nowhere, or suddenly understand a concept that's been puzzling you for ages. These downloads can feel like someone just dropped a packet of information straight into your mind. It's worth noting that each person's experience with their guides is unique. You might resonate more with some forms of communication than others. The key is to stay open and pay attention to the ways your guides are reaching out to you. Now, you might be wondering why your guides don't just appear in front of you and start chatting. Well, there are a few reasons for this. First, most of us aren't quite ready for that level of direct contact. It might be a bit overwhelming. Second, part of our growth process involves learning to trust our inner guidance and intuition. If our guides did everything for us, we'd miss out on some important learning experiences. It's also important to understand that your guides operate on a higher vibrational frequency than we do in our physical bodies. This is why their communication often feels subtle or symbolic. As you go through this shift and your own vibration rises, you might find that communication with your guides becomes clearer and more direct. One thing to remember is that your guides always have your highest good in mind. Sometimes this might mean allowing you to go through challenging experiences for the sake of growth and learning. Your guides won't interfere with the lessons you came here to learn, even if those lessons are difficult. But they will always be there to support you and offer guidance if you ask for it. Speaking of asking, that's another important point. Your guides respect your free will so much that they often wait for you to ask for help before they step in. So don't be shy about reaching out to your guides. Whether you do it through prayer, meditation, or just by thinking or speaking to them, your guides are always listening and ready to help. As you develop your relationship with your guides, you might start to recognize their individual energies or personalities. Some might feel nurturing and comforting, while others might have a more direct, no-nonsense vibe. You might even start to associate certain guides with specific areas of your life, like a career guide or a creative muse. It's also worth noting that as you grow and change, your team of guides might shift too. Some guides might be with you for your whole life, while others might come in for specific periods or to help with particular challenges or phases of growth. This is all part of the dynamic, evolving nature of your spiritual journey. One beautiful aspect of working with your spirit guides is the sense of support and connection it brings. Even in your darkest moments, you can take comfort in knowing that you're not alone. Your guides are always there, cheering you on, offering comfort when you need it, and celebrating your victories with you. As you continue to go through this powerful shift, your connection with your guides is likely to deepen and expand. You might find yourself receiving guidance more clearly and frequently. You might start to recognize the unique ways your guides communicate with you, developing a sort of personal language or code. Remember, though, that this connection with your guides isn't about becoming dependent on their guidance. Rather, it's about working in partnership with them to navigate your life's journey. The ultimate goal is for you to become more empowered, more in tune with your own inner wisdom, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. So as you move forward on this exciting journey, stay open to the guidance that's all around you. Pay attention to those gut feelings, those meaningful coincidences, those moments of sudden inspiration. Your guides are reaching out, ready to support you as you step into this new phase of your spiritual evolution. Trust in their wisdom, but also trust in yourself. After all, you and your guides are ultimately on the same team. Team You. As your connection with your spirit guide strengthens during this powerful shift, you might start experiencing what many spiritual seekers call downloads. These downloads are essentially bursts of information or insight that seem to come from a higher source. Let's explore the different types of downloads you might receive from your guides and how to recognize them. Intuitive flashes are one of the most common types of downloads. These are those sudden aha moments when you just know something without knowing how you know it. It's like a light bulb going off in your mind. You might suddenly understand the solution to a problem you've been grappling with, or you might get a clear sense of what decision to make in a difficult situation. These intuitive flashes often come when you least expect them, in the shower, while you're driving, or just as you're falling asleep. Visual downloads are another interesting way your guides might communicate with you. These can come in the form of mental images or visions. You might close your eyes and see a symbol, a color, or even a full scene playing out in your mind's eye. Some people report seeing these images with their eyes open, almost like an overlay on their normal vision. These visual downloads often carry symbolic messages that your guides want you to pay attention to. Auditory downloads are when you receive information through sounds or words. This doesn't necessarily mean you'll hear voices, although some people do report this. More often, it might be a phrase or a song lyric that pops into your head out of nowhere and carries a relevant message. You might also experience this as a ringing in your ears or hearing your name called when no one is around. Emotional downloads are when you suddenly experience a strong feeling that seems to come from outside yourself. You might feel an overwhelming sense of love or peace, or you might get a feeling of urgency or caution about something. These emotional downloads are your guide's way of communicating on a heart level, bypassing your rational mind to deliver a message directly to your feelings. Physical sensations are another way your guides might send you downloads. You might feel a tingling on your skin, a warmth in your chest, or a sudden chill. Some people report feeling a tap on their shoulder or a gentle push in a certain direction. These physical sensations are often your guide's way of getting your attention or confirming that you're on the right track. Dream downloads are a powerful way for guides to communicate, as our logical mind is less active during sleep. You might have vivid, meaningful dreams that stick with you after you wake up. These dreams might contain symbols, messages, or even direct conversations with your guides. Pay special attention to recurring dreams or dreams that feel particularly significant. Synchronistic downloads come in the form of meaningful coincidences. You might think of a friend and then immediately receive a call from them. Or you might keep seeing the same number sequence everywhere you look. These synchronicities are often orchestrated by your guides to deliver a message or confirm that you're aligned with your path. Creative downloads often come as bursts of inspiration. You might suddenly get an idea for a story, a piece of art, or a solution to a problem at work. These creative downloads can feel like they're coming from a source outside yourself, bringing ideas that feel fresh and exciting. Knowing downloads are perhaps the most profound type. These are moments when you suddenly understand a complex concept or gain deep insight into a situation. It's like someone uploaded a whole packet of information directly into your mind. These knowing downloads can dramatically shift your perspective or understanding of something. As you receive these various types of downloads, you might notice that some forms resonate more with you than others. This is perfectly normal. We all have our own unique ways of connecting with our guides. The key is to stay open and attentive to all the ways your guides might be trying to reach you. Now that we've explored the different types of downloads you might receive from your guides, let's dive into how you can recognize and interpret this guidance. Remember, receiving guidance is one thing, but understanding and applying it is where the real magic happens. First and foremost, trust your instincts. When you receive a download or a piece of guidance, pay attention to how it feels. Does it resonate with you on a deep level? Does it feel right, even if it doesn't make logical sense at first? Your intuition is a powerful tool for discerning genuine guidance from your own thoughts or wishful thinking. Practice mindfulness. The more present and aware you are in your daily life, the easier it will be to notice the subtle ways your guides communicate. Take time each day to quiet your mind through meditation or simply sitting in silence. This creates space for guidance to come through more clearly. Keep a journal, writing down your experiences, dreams, and any guidance you receive can help you spot patterns over time. It's also a great way to record those fleeting insights that might otherwise slip away. You might be surprised at how much clearer things become when you see them written down. Pay attention to recurring themes or symbols. If you keep seeing the same image, number sequence, or message in different forms, it's likely your guides are trying to emphasize something important. Don't dismiss these repetitions as mere coincidence. Learn to differentiate between fear-based thoughts and genuine guidance. Guidance from your spirit guides typically feels calm, loving, and supportive, even when it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. If you're receiving messages that feel fearful or controlling, it's probably not coming from your guides. Be open to unexpected forms of guidance. Sometimes, the message you need might come through a conversation with a stranger, a billboard you drive past, or a random book that falls off the shelf. Your guides will use whatever means necessary to get their message across, so stay open to guidance in all its forms. Ask for clarification. If you receive guidance that you don't understand, it's okay to ask your guides for more information. You can do this through meditation, prayer, or simply by thinking or speaking your request. Be patient and stay open. The clarification might come in unexpected ways. Trust the timing. Sometimes you might receive guidance that doesn't make sense in the moment. Trust that your guides have a broader perspective and that the relevance of the message will become clear in time. Be patient and keep the guidance in mind as you move forward. Practice discernment. While it's important to be open to guidance, it's equally important to use your own judgment. Your guides respect your free will and expect you to think for yourself. If you receive guidance that goes against your core values or feels wrong in any way, it's okay to question it or seek further clarification. As you navigate this powerful shift and strengthen your connection with your guides, you'll likely notice significant changes in yourself. Embracing these changes is a crucial part of your spiritual growth. Let's explore how you can fully step into this new version of yourself. First, be gentle with yourself. Change, even positive change, can be challenging. You might find yourself acting or thinking in ways that surprise you. Old habits or beliefs might fall away, making room for new ones. This process can feel disorienting at times. Remember to be patient and kind with yourself as you adjust to these changes. Allow yourself to let go of what no longer serves you. As you shift, you might find that certain relationships, habits, or beliefs no longer align with who you're becoming. It's okay to release these things. Trust that as you let go of the old, you're making space for new experiences that are more in alignment with your evolving self. Embrace your authenticity. This shift often brings a stronger connection to your true self. You might find yourself caring less about what others think and more about being true to who you really are. Allow yourself to express this authenticity, even if it feels vulnerable at first. Stay grounded. With all this spiritual growth and higher frequency energy, it's important to stay connected to the physical world. Spend time in nature, eat nourishing foods, and take care of your physical body. Grounding helps you integrate these spiritual experiences into your everyday life. Cultivate self-trust. As your intuition strengthens and you receive more guidance, you'll need to trust yourself more than ever. Practice listening to your inner wisdom and acting on it, even when it doesn't make logical sense. Be open to new interests and passions. You might find yourself drawn to new activities or areas of study. Allow yourself to explore these new interests. They're often part of your soul's calling. Practice self-care. This shift can be energetically demanding. Make sure you're giving yourself plenty of time to rest and recharge. This might mean saying no to social engagements more often, or carving out more quiet time for yourself. Connect with like-minded individuals. As you change, you might feel the need to connect with others who understand what you're going through. Seek out spiritual communities or individuals who resonate with your new energy. Keep learning and growing. This shift is just the beginning of a lifelong journey of spiritual growth. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and remain open to new perspectives and experiences. As we wrap up our exploration of this powerful spiritual shift, it's important to remember that this is just the beginning of an incredible journey. You're stepping into a new phase of your life, one where you're more connected to your true self, more attuned to the guidance of your spirit guides, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. This shift has made you unrecognizable in the best possible way. You're evolving, expanding and growing into a more authentic version of yourself. The increased downloads from your guides are a testament to this growth, offering you wisdom and support as you navigate this new terrain. Remember, everyone's spiritual journey is unique. There's no one right way to experience this shift or to connect with your guides. Trust your own process, be patient with yourself as you learn and grow, and above all, enjoy the adventure. As you move forward, stay open to the guidance that's all around you. Pay attention to those intuitive flashes, those meaningful coincidences, those moments of sudden inspiration. Your guides are always there, ready to support you as you step into this new phase of your spiritual evolution. Embrace the changes you're experiencing, both internally and in your outer world. Allow yourself to let go of what no longer serves you, making space for new experiences that align with your evolving self. And remember to stay grounded as you soar to new spiritual heights. This powerful shift has indeed made you unrecognizable, but in the most beautiful way possible. You're becoming more of who you truly are, more connected to the universe around you, more in tune with your inner wisdom. It's an exciting time, full of potential and possibility. So, as you continue on this journey, trust in your guides, trust in the process, and most importantly, trust in yourself. You are on a remarkable journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. Embrace it with an open heart and an open mind, and watch in amazement as your world transforms around you. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Your guides are always with you, cheering you on, offering support, and celebrating your growth. And as you continue to evolve and expand, you'll likely find yourself connecting with others who are on similar paths. This is your time to shine, to step into your power, and to fully embrace the incredible being that you are. The universe is conspiring in your favor, sending you guidance and support through your spirit guides. All you need to do is stay open, stay aware, and trust in the journey. So here's to the new you, unrecognizable, empowered, and ready to create magic in the world. Your journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Embrace it all with joy, curiosity, and an open heart. The universe is waiting to dance with you. Are you ready?